Shankaram Shabhuma Shankararya Pitha Sadgurun Shuddha Sattva Bhasuran Suvartmanita Bhusuran Sarva Bhuta Saukhyadan Khamakaran Yatishwara
Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankaracharya-Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam Shri Guru-Charanadvandvam Vandeham Matita-Dussahadvandvam Bhrantigrahopashantim Pam Sumayam Yasya Bhasita-Matanute. So that is the Mangala Shloka. So now we are in the midst of discussing the 21st Shloka, for which the Sanskrit commentary is not available to us. So from 22nd onwards it is there. But for the 21, in this commentary we have been seeing, there is a portion left out in the last class, and that we are going to complete and then go to 22nd Shloka. So here, the 21st Shloka is worded, Sati Kosha Shaktyupadhau Sambhavataha Tasya Jiva Teshvarute No Chet Tayor Abhavat Vigata Vishesham Vibhati Nijarupam. So now in this shloka, the possibility of Jiva and Ishvara. Ishvara is the Saguna Brahman who creates, sustains, and destroys the world periodically. And he is the one who is the Karma Phala Data. He is the one who is stated to be Sarvajna, Sarvashakta, and all that. So that is the Ishvara, Saguna Ishvara. And Jiva is, as everybody knows, the Samsari. So these two, the Jiva and Ishvara, they occur or they happen due to Upadhi. That's what the Vedanta teaches. Because in the Vedantic highest standpoint, there is no world, there is no Jiva, there is no Ishvara, only Nirguna Brahman alone is there. So in such a scenario, how can these two be conceived of even? So for that, the reply from the Vedanta is that the Jiva and Ishvara, they occur because of Upadhis, Maya Upadhi and Avidya Upadhi. Maya Upadhi is to bring out Ishvara, and Avidya Upadhi is to bring out the Jiva from Nirguna Brahman. So actually, no Ishvara, no Jiva are ever born or ever there at all. But then, with a view to help the aspirant who is finding himself in a world and considering himself as a bound person, the Vedas, the Upanishads, they conceive of a world that is the Jiva, without being taught anything about the world, he already recognizes himself to be someone in the world. But then the Upanishad has a grand scheme by which it wants to take the Jiva out of the delusion that he is in the world and he is samsari and all that, and let him realize that he is Kevala Nirguna Brahman. So in that execution of that scheme, the Vedas, they concoct or conceive of the possibility of the world being created and created by an intelligent Ishvara, and the various attributes of Ishvara are being spoken of in the Itihasa, Purana, and the Upanishads and all that, and Vedas also. And thereby the Jiva is asked to be devoted to that Ishvara and believe that his emancipation is because of Ishvara's grace only. This kind of a system is called Adhyaropa, and the Apavada, the negation of all this is and Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, Nehana Nasti Kinchana, Sarvam Kalpana. So those 50 sentences do the Apavada part of what has been deliberately superimposed by the Shastra. This Ishvara Kalpana and Jiva Kalpana is not due to avidya. The Upanishads or the Vedas, they do it deliberately, and that is intelligent superimposition. It's not ignorant superimposition. So with this background, we have seen this shloka, Sati Kosha Shaktyupadhau. When these two upadhis are there, that is kosha upadhi for jiva and shakti upadhi for Ishvara, sambhavataha tasya jiveshvarate. Then it is possible to have jivahood and Ishvarahood. No chet tayoho abhavate vigata vishesham vibhati nijarupam. If these two upadhis are not there, that is, if jiva upadhi and Ishvara upadhi are not there, then what happens is the pure Brahman, Nirguna Brahman, shines forth by itself. So by saying that no chet tayor abhavate, the Upanishad also teaches us to negate the two upadhis. And then there is that's exactly what is being done in the Mahavakya by the Jaha Lakshana and all that. Through that, the pure Ishvara and pure Jiva, that is, Ishvara is reduced to pure consciousness, and Jiva is also reduced to pure consciousness. And the non-difference between these two reduced to pure consciousness is what is taught as the Tattvamasi Mahava in the Tattvamasi Mahavakya. So here we have to see this last portion there in that. So the commentary, Sambhavataha tasya jiva ishvarate, that portion, अविद्या के आवरण से जीव की और माया के आवरण से ईश्वर की उत्पत्ति सी होती है. कहाँ से? So he says, due to the upadhi or due to the enveloping due to avidya, the jiva is possible, and due to the acceptance of the maya upadhi, that is maya avarana, Ishvara is possible. So this maya avarana is not in ignorance, surely. This avarana is what is called the upadhi affecting or joining or upadhi making it possible for the Nirguna Brahman to be appearing as Ishvara. So the avidya is the one which makes Nirguna Brahman appear as the jiva, and maya is the upadhi that makes the Nirguna Brahman appear as Ishvara. But in all these situations, Nirguna Brahman is left undisturbed. It is never ever affected by this at all. So it is only the upadhis that are playing, and all these things happening, it doesn't bring about any vikara to Nirguna Brahman. So this is also to be noted. So that's why this commentator very carefully says that it is as though jiva is possible, as though Ishvara is possible from Nirguna Brahman. So ब्रह्म में से अर्थात जीव ईश्वर की उत्पत्ति का कारण मायोपहित ब्रह्म है. So ब्रह्म में से, from Brahman, जीवा and ईश्वरा की उत्पत्ति का कारण मायोपहित ब्रह्म है. So the maya upahita Brahman is the one who is that is responsible for the possibility of jiva and ईश्वरा. वो ब्रह्म ही जीवेश्वर रूप से व्यक्त होता है. So that Brahman alone manifests as jiva and Ishvara because of this maya upadhi, and of course avidya upadhi also has to be included. वास्तव में उत्पत्ति नहीं होती क्योंकि ब्रह्म अजन्मा, असंग और निष्क्रिय है. So in truth, in absolute, from the absolute standpoint, there is no creation or the no appearance or manifestation of jiva and Ishvara, because Brahman is asanga, that is, it is totally unconnected with anything. Nothing can make Brahman anything. So in the sense, Brahman is away from any kind of affection. So and it's also it is nishkriya. There is no action possible at all in Brahman. So that way, in truth, jiva and Ishvara are not possible. This is what is brought out by the Gaudapada na nirodho na chotpatihi na baddho na cha sadakaha na mumukshurvai na muktaha ityesha paramarthata. In the shloka, Gaudapada Acharya, of course, it is available in a minor Upanishad also. What Acharya says is, there is no creation, there is no dissolution, and there is none who is called a jiva, and there is none bound, and there is none who is aspiring for liberation, and there is none who is liberated also. So bandha is not there, mukti is also not there. So that is the ultimate position. But then when a person finds himself in the as a bound person, the teaching has to be in a different way, and to an advanced seeker, this teaching of no creation is also provided, so that he can know the truth and quickly come out of the delusion. So वो ब्रह्म ही जीवेश्वर रूप से व्यक्त होता है, वास्तव में उत्पत्ति नहीं होती, क्योंकि ब्रह्म अजन्मा, ब्रह्म is unborn, अजायमानो बहुधा विजायते. In the Purusha Sukta we hear अजायमानो बहुधा विजायते. That means that which has no birth at all, which cannot, which doesn't, which can't take birth at all, which is not born at all, is as though taking so many births. That is, we see so many jivas in the world, humans, animals, and so many subhumans and all that, and superhumans. From the pramana of the Shastra, we come to know that there are devatas and yaksha, kinnara, gandharva, and all that. The presence of, or the existence of those are known to us by the Shastra only, and the animals and birds and all we see. But then there are some more creatures which are subhuman, which also, and some more lokas which are subhuman. This world loka, that is below this world, earth loka, that is bhuloka. So these are all known to us from the Shastra. So anyway, all these things are ultimately negated also. So yes, sab maya ka vilas hai. So the other author says that it is all maya only. It is all a play of maya, display of maya. No chet nahi to tayoho abhavat जीव की उपाधि अविद्या अथवा कार्य उपाधि और ईश्वर की उपाधि माया अथवा कारण उपाधि, ये दोनों के बाद होने से विगत विशेषम विभाति, सब विशेषताओं से रहित हुआ, इदम अदह त्वम अहम आदि सर्व प्रत्ययों से विरहित हुआ प्रकाशमान होता है. So the ultimate position is being spoken of here. When the Jiva Upadhi and Avidya Upadhi, which are actually Karya Upadhi and Karana Upadhi, he is having in mind the Shukarahasya Upanishad passage, Karyopadhirayam Jivaha, Karanopadhi Rishvaraha. So that is the statement in the Shukarahasya Upanishad. It is one of the minor Upanishads contained in the Muktika Upanishad, which lists 108 Upanishads. And our Advaitin Brahma Yogin, who lived in the time of Tyagaraja Swami and Muthuswami Dikshitar, he has commented on all the 108 Upanishads, and they are available now. And in this Upanishad, it is stated that the Jiva is because he is Karya Upadhi. Karya means the effect of the Prakriti, Mula Prakriti Maya. So Mula Prakriti Maya is the one which is the cause, root cause for the manifestation of the world and all the body-mind complexes of all jivas. So all jivas, the body-mind complex of all jivas is made of Panchabhutas, and the Mula Prakriti is the source of Panchabhutas. So the Karya Upadhi is the effect Upadhi, that is what has transformed into the body-mind complex, and that is what is Jiva, the consciousness embedded or in the consciousness delimited by this body-mind complex is called Jiva. So here the Karya Upadhi is this, and the Karana Upadhi, that is the Upadhi which is the Karana, that is the Mula Prakriti, before its transformation into the Panchabhutas and all that pure, that original source, which is extremely subtle, that is the Upadhi for the manifestation of Ishvara. So, in this way, we can also come to, we can also think of these possibilities also, that the Jiva Upadhi, that is the body-mind complex, keeps, body-mind complex is created, and it's a transformation order, and the Jiva's body, the lost body, it is born and it is dead in each birth, whereas the subtle body, that is the body-mind, that is the but the Sukshma Shariram, that is produced once, but then it lasts till the Jiva attains moksha, and in his last birth only, when death occurs, the Sukshma Shariram also dissolves and merges into its causal factors that are the Panchabhutas. So this is what the Vedas Upanishad says. So there is a there is a manufacturing date for the gross body and an expiry date for the gross body, and there is a manufacturing date that is the anadi manufacturing date that is for the Sukshma Shariram, and there is a expiry date for the Sukshma Shariram also. But then for the Ishvara's Upadhi, that is the Maya, there is no such manufacturing date and expiry date. So Ishvara is possible because of that Mula Prakriti Karana seed form of seed state of Maya Prakriti, and Ishvara, who is a product of that seed form of the Mula Prakriti, of course, with along with pure consciousness Brahman. So that Ishvara is forever ever available, in the sense in each distribution, Pralaya, Ishvara doesn't get destroyed. And in each creation, Ishvara is there to bring out the creation and maintain it, and then draw it back to himself, that is the source. But then that Ishvara is a tattva which is available forever, and when a person attains moksha jnana and becomes a liberated person, for that person, from that person's point of view, Ishvara also ceases to exist. And from the jiva, no jivas are there, and no world also is there for that, from that point of person's point of view. But for all the others who are bound, Ishvara is continuing to be there to cater to their needs. So this is the Vedantic position. So Karya Upadhi is Jiva and Karana Upadhi is Ishvara. That is the Shukara Hasya Upanishad. So when these two upadhis are negated, there is no Jiva and there is no Ishvara. So Brahman shines forth as in its pristine, pure form. That is the that's what the liberated man, that is the person who is enlightened, he experiences that by Brahman as his own self. So Nijarupam, apne पे के रूप अपने आपे के रूप से ब्रह्म प्रकाशित अनुभूत होता है. So Brahman is experienced in its form. यदि जीव और ईश्वरता सत्य होती तो उनका बाध नहीं होता. And he is giving another nice reasoning also. So the reasoning is, if anything is absolutely real, there is no way that entity can be destroyed by any force, whatever. So what can be destroyed has to be something which is not real absolutely, which can be only an appearance. That alone can be destroyed by knowledge. So that is what the that's what the that is distilled Vedanta, that the Bhagavad Gita 2.16, nasato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sataha. So na asataha vidyate bhavaha. That is, asat, non-existence, does not have or does not come into existence at all. And what is existent can never go out of existence. So that is the great truth mentioned in that shloka. So here also he mentions that, he alludes to that. So if anything were to be real, absolutely real, that would never ever be destroyed. So if Ishvara and Jiva were absolutely real, that would not get destroyed, that would not get negated, and there would not be the possibility for anyone to attain the enlightenment by realizing himself to be the Nirguna Brahman. So this possibility is there, and it is and that is why the possibility of moksha is also there. Advaitic moksha, that is Vedantic moksha, is also there. Ataha, that is why in the case of the non-Vedantic schools, that is Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya Vaisheshika and all that, in their system, no such case of, there is no way of negating Ishvara and Jiva. What they achieve is the Jivas realizing his true nature, that is freedom from Prakriti association. That is, the Jiva is in bondage only because of his taking the body-mind complex to be itself, and thereby that combination of the pure consciousness and the inert body-mind complex is the Jiva. Yet in those schools, the Jiva is is enabled to free himself from the association with the or identification, wrong identification from the body mind with the body mind complex. But then such a jiva will continue to be one of the many such jivas, and the world also will continue to be real. Ishvara also will continue to be real. So this is the way the other non-Vedantic schools operate. Whereas in Vedanta alone, the world is Vidya, Jiva, Ishvara, Abheda is there, and Jiva Nanatva is also not there, and Ishvara's reality is also not admitted. Then, Ataha, Jnanananta Lakshanawala ब्रह्म ही अंत 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 में बुद्धि साक्षी हो अहम अहम करके रूप से स्फुरित है. So when this upadhi and Ishvara upadhi are negated through the pure purified subtle intellect, then the pure Brahman, Shuddha Brahman is realized by the person, by that aspirant as aham. So this that pure Brahman is not recognized to be as someone else. That pure Brahman is recognized to be one's own true self, and nothing other than that is also not there. So that is the realization he gets. So with this we have completed the 21st shloka. I will read it once again. Sati kosha shaktyupadhau sambhavataha tasya jivateshvarate. That is, jivata plus ishvarata will become jivateshvarate. That is the sandhi. It's a feminine gender, Srilinga, Dvivachana. No che tayoho abhavat vigata vishesham vibhati nijarupam. So now we move on to the 22nd shloka, and we are now back to the commentary, Sanskrit commentary. In the 22nd shloka is introduced by the commentator thus: Nano sarvopadi vilaye sati kimapi na avashishyate iti tatraha. So the question now arising that is coming up is, when all the upadhis are negated, there will be nothing at all left. That is, there's something called as, say, it amounts to zero. So when such a situation is there, how do we really go about at all? So this is the concern of the questioner. Sarvopadi vilaye sati kimapi na avashishyate. Nothing else is remaining at all. So what is that situation called? So that is the question, and the Vedantin answers this way: Sati sakala drishya badhe na kimapyasti iti lokasiddham chet yan na kimapi iti siddham brahma tadeveti vedataha siddham. So this is the shloka. In the shloka, what it means is, Sati sakala drishya badhe, when all the objectified part is negated, na kimapyasti iti lokasiddham chet. There is nothing. That is how the world will see. So, for example, when everybody from a film theater, they have gone, the person who is looking at that room or the hall says that there is nobody. And if so like that, then all the things also are taken away from there. He will say there's nothing here. So that is the situation. So sati sakala drishya badhe na kimapyasti iti lokasiddham chet na kimapi iti siddham brahma tadeveti vedataha siddham. So the world will say that there is nothing. When the objectified everything is negated, the world, that's how the worldly people will look at it. But then the statement that they make, that there's nothing, that statement alone is stated by the Veda as Brahman. So that the statement that there is nothing uttered by the Laukika people, that is the worldly people, is actually rephrased as this is Brahman by the Veda. So that is a beautiful shloka here. And we are reminded of a verse in the Vid.V.Subramanian also, when the Guru teaches the aspirant to disciple to negate all the 5 koshas with logic and Shruti and all that. The disciple comes up with the question: when everything is negated, the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, and Anandamaya, when all of them are negated, what remains there? There's nothing. That's the statement of the disciple. Then the ingenious Acharya says that even though all these are negated and they're amounting to nothing, it has amounted to nothing. The one who sees that nothing is not negated. So that is the one who is the Atma. That is the one who is ultimately Brahman. So even in the worldly sense, we can see that when we are asked to whether there is anybody in a particular room or hall, we go to the place and see whether there is there are some people or anybody is left there. And if nobody is left there, we report that there is nobody. But then to report that there is nobody, there has to be a person, and that person cannot become nobody. So, so this is how even the world we can appreciate. So the Shastra also says that when you are the one who have negated everything, it doesn't amount to or zero, nothingness or zero. You are there, you have negated the one who are unnegatable. So this is the way the Vedanta answers this. So here, instead of saying that in a personal way, this sloka says that it is Brahman that is remains and which cannot be negated. Sakala drisha adhe sati na kimapyasti iti yalokasiddham chete astam. So when everything, the entire objectified or the entire object side of the equation is negated, na kimapyasti, there is nothing. This is the statement made by a person. So if that is the case, let it be so. It doesn't amount to our Vedantic position in any way. It doesn't affect the Vedantic position in any way. Yen na kimapi iti siddham, na kimapi ati anena shabdena pratipaditam, tad brahma vedataha upanishad vakyaihi siddham pratipaditam. So what the uninformed people say as there is nothing, that alone is translated by the Upanishads as Brahman. So that is the reply here in this. Yalloke kimapi navashishyate sarvabadhe tad Upanishad vakyaihi asti iti pratipadyate ityartha. So in the world, if somebody says that after negating the Panchakoshas and after negating the whole world of oceans and mountains and planets and all that, there's nothing will be left. So that's what a person who is hearing the negation of this would say. A person who is not a Vedantin, who is someone who is an onlooker, would say. But then the Upanishad says that that nothing alone is Brahman. That is what exactly the Neti Neti also does. So anything that is encounter, the Upanishad says that it is not. So in the sense, the named form of is what we encounter. Brahman is not encountered at all, because whenever we say that we encounter someone or something, it is only something that is experienced by our senses. So when we see someone, we say that there is someone. When we see something or hear something, we say that there is something. But then that is what is called encountering in the world. But then the Upanishad says that, so that way, whatever you encounter is not Brahman, and by negating the name and form there, what is remaining as is Brahman, and which is not encountered by you, but it is you yourself. So that is the opposition of the Vedanta. Shri Guru Charana Dvandvam Vandeham Matita Dussahadvandvam Grantis Grahopa Shantim Yasya Bhasitam Atanute Pamsumayam Yasya Bhasitam Atanute. So with this we end this session. Shastram Sharirami Mamsa Devastu Parameshwaraha Acharya Shankaracharya Santume Janma